Hello, this is the instructional video that goes along with the lesson reading the excerpt from the book American Like Me from America Ferrera. And this is going under our identity unit. And this is kind of an interesting excerpt from her book. Excerpt it means a section taken out of her book. So she wrote a whole book, but this is just one section from her book. And it is sort of an interesting section because it is where she writes about her own name. Now, I didn't recognize her at first. I thought, oh, she looks kind of familiar, but I couldn't remember. And a friend said to me, oh, she's the one from that TV show called Superstore, the one that's kind of a knockoff of Walmart, and all the characters are workers at Walmart. So you might recognize her from that, but she is a comedian. So I'm kind of interested to see what style of writing she's going to do. You can bet it is going to be way different than a news story. A news story is supposed to be straight to the point, not a lot of frills, just sharing all of the facts. She's going to have a little bit of flair in her writing, or her voice is going to come through pretty clearly in her writing. So I'm going to show you, you're going to annotate. I'm going to do it at the beginning for you to just kind of model that. You're going to use that comment feature. And then once it gets to a certain point, if you would like to just stop the video and continue annotating on your own and finishing the worksheet on your own, you can do that. If you want to just keep the video going and listen to me read it aloud, then you can do that. So this is the book excerpt from America Ferrera's, she's the author, American Like Me. So I guess her name is America. And I just think, I can't help but thinking that is an interesting name. And so remember, you right click and then click on this little blue plus, and that will help you do the comment feature for your annotations. So it looks like this was published September 28th, 2018. That's not too long ago. My name is America. And at 9 years old, I hate my name. Not because I hate my country, no. In fact, at 9 years old, I love my country. Okay, so she's going to talk about her unique name, and something that I think is a little interesting is she says, at 9 years old, I hate my name. Not because I hate my country, and it seems like she's 9 years old because the verb tense is in the present, and so I think it's weird that she's using present tense, but I can see the picture, and clearly she is not 9 years old. So I'm wondering, why is she writing like she is 9 years old when clearly she is an adult? Okay, so my name is America, and at 9 years old, I hate my name. Not because I hate my country. No. In fact, at 9 years old, I love my country. When the national anthem plays, I cry into my Dodger dog, thinking about how lucky I am to live in the only nation in the world where someone like me will grow up to be the first girl to play for the Dodgers. Okay, so I'm thinking, I'm not 100% sure I know what a Dodger dog is. D-O-D. Like the baseball team, because I know they have a baseball team named the Dodgers. And she says she cries into her Dodger dog. And okay, does she really like cry every time they? I'm wondering if she is she exaggerating? I think that would be called hyperbole. And she thinks she's going to be the first girl to play for the Dodgers. I know she doesn't become that. Okay, so I'm pretty sure she is using humor through exaggeration. Okay. I've kind of interrupted my own thinking, so I'm going to back up a little bit. When the national anthem plays, I cry into my Dodger dog, thinking how lucky I am to live in the only nation in the world where someone like me will grow up to be the first girl to play for the Dodgers. I suppose that could be like a kid's dream. I do hate the Pledge of Allegiance, though. Not because I don't believe in it. I believe every word of it, especially the, quote, liberty and justice for all, end quote part. I believe the Pledge of Allegiance to my bones. And at 9 years old, I feel honored, self-righteous, and quite smug that I was smart enough to be born in the one country in the whole world that stands for the things my little heart knows to be true. We are all the same and deserve an equal shot at life, liberty, and a place in the Dodgers batting lineup. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be the pursuit of happiness here. So this must have been a childhood dream. She is writing from her 9-year-old perspective. So I'm going to just start reading. I want you to pause and do more annotations. I like to see lots of annotations. I hate the Pledge of Allegiance because for as long as I can remember, there's always at least one smart A, and the actual text has the whole word, in class who turns to face me with his hand over his heart to recite it. You know, 'cause my name is America. She's using sarcasm here. The first day of every school year is always H-E double hockey sticks. Teachers always make a big deal of my name in front of the whole class. They either think it's a typo and want to know what my real name is, or they want to know how to pronounce it. Ridiculous, I know. And they always follow up with, America? You mean like the country? Yes, like the country, I say, with my eyes on my desk and my skin burning hot. She must have been embarrassed about that. This is how I come to hate American history. Not because I don't love saying the Battle of Ticonderoga. Obviously I do, but because no teacher has ever been more excited to meet a student named America than my first American history teacher. He has been waiting all day to meet me, and so to commemorate this moment, he wheels me around the room on his fancy teacher's chair, belting, God bless America, while a small part of me dies inside. His face reminds me of Eeyore's when I say, actually, I like to go by my middle name, Georgina. So could you please make a note of it on that roster paper thingy? Thanks. When he has the gall to ask me why, I say something like, it's just easier, instead of what I really want to say, which is, because people like you make my name unbearably embarrassing. And another thing, I'm not actually named after the United States of America. I'm named after my mother, who was born and raised in Honduras. That's in Central America, in case you've never heard of it. Also part of the Americas. And if you must know, she was born on an obscure holiday called Dias de las Americas, which not even people in Honduras know much about, but my grandfather was a librarian and knew weird stuff like that. This is a holiday that celebrates all the Americas, South, Central, and North, not just the United States of. So my name has nothing to do with amber waves of grain, purple mountains, the U.S. flag, or your very narrow definition of the word. It's my mother's name and a word that also relates to other countries, like the one my parents came from. So please refrain from limiting the meaning of my name, erasing my family's history, and making me the least popular kid in class all in one fell swoop. Just call me Georgina, please. I don't say any of this to anyone, ever. It would be impolite. Or worse, unpatriotic. And as I said before, I love my country in the most unironic and earnest way anyone can love anything. I know just how lucky I am to be American because every time I complain about too much homework, my mother reminds me that in Honduras I'd be working to help support the family. So I better thank my lucky stars that she sacrificed everything she had so that my Malcredia self and my 5 siblings could one day have too much homework. And this word means spoiled in Spanish. It's a perspective that has me embracing Little League Baseball, the 4th of July, and ABC's TGIF lineup of the wholesome American family comedies with more fervor than most. I feel more American than the bulky Barkaronimus and the Winslows and the Tanners combined. And I believe that one day I will grow up to look like Aunt Becky from Full House, and then Frank Sinatra will ask me to re-record I've Got You Under My Skin as a duet with him because I know all the words better than my siblings. So I let it slide when people respond to my name with, wow, your parents must be very patriotic. Where are they actually from? This is a refrain I hear often and one that will take me a couple of decades to unpack. for all its implications and assumptions. I learned to go along with the casting of my parents as the poor immigrants yearning to breathe free, who made it to the promised land and decided to name their American daughter after the soil that would fulfill all their dreams. After all, it's a beautiful and endearing tale. Only later do I learn to bristle and push back against this incomplete narrative, a narrative which manages to erase my parents' history, true experience, and the claim to the name America long before they had a U.S.-born child. Never mind, they'd already had a U.S.-born child before me and named her Jennifer, which is both a much more American name than mine and one I would kill to have on the first day of every school year. All right, you are to go back and annotate if you haven't done so with your comment feature. And the 3 questions: summarize the central idea in 1 sentence. What is unique about the way she shares her points? This is talking about her writing style. And in what ways does this story connect to our identity unit? Be sure to be thorough in your answers.